Good evening, Harlequin here, and welcome to another episode of HarlequinCasts Dawn of War 2 Retribution. Look at these gorgeous looking waterfalls. Did you know that there were two beautiful waterfalls off to the side of Greentooth Gorge? I believe Choco Bambus was telling me that every time he plays this map, his girlfriend asks him to come and look at the waterfalls with him. How romantic. Anyhow, in case you were wondering, I do always run this game on ultra graphics mode. I enjoy that. And today's game is going to be featuring two tip-top ladder players. I know I like to call people top players a lot, but today these guys are actually both in like the top 10 or the top 5 of the ladder. Phenomenal players, both with 2200 LO rating, something to that effect. Let's go ahead and take a look around this map right now and introduce the players. On the northern side, controlling the red chaos pieces, we have Mr. Caeltos playing as the Plague Champion today. Don't be thrown off by his name. Instorm is just kind of what he happened to be going by that day. I always like looking at these little aesthetic upgrades here that just kind of make his Plague Champion look different from other Plague Champions. Looking pretty gorgeous there. His opponent today playing as the Apothecary for the Space Marines, controlling the blue pieces. Well, at least on the minimap, you can see obviously he's got the black and white paint scheme going on here today. As the Apothecary, we have Mr. Aki. Again, he's playing as Apothecarius, but that is just a different nickname for him. So let's go ahead and get this game started. Now these players are both phenomenal players. Really, this is just a ladder game, and all I want to do today is just kind of watch like a ladder game between two really good players at the 2200 level. I think it's very informative just to see the kinds of things that they do. I'm not necessarily going to be trying to criticize anything. I just kind of want to just point out the sorts of things. Honestly, I spent all day today with Mr. Old Blood and Guts from Project L2P.com, the Learn to Play organization for Dawn of War 2, and we were just kind of criticizing newbie games all day today. And so it is really glorious watching just like a half a dozen newbie games and then to watch two phenomenal players. You really gain an appreciation for the kind of stuff that they're doing. So already, looking at their opening build orders, we see a Tactical Marine Squad for Aki, followed up by a Scout Squad, Chaos Space Marine Squad, followed up by a Chaos Heretic Squad. So it looks like Caeltos wants to favor having the double Heretics out early. That always could be a little bit tricky if the Apothecary goes for, say, double Tactical Marines and then into Assault Marines or Quick Assault Marines. But we'll just have to see how this develops out here. Note, by the way, good positioning of units, spreading out, capturing squads all across the map right now. We'll see a little bit of a conflict over here, but not too much. Perfect unit awareness right there. Notice he just instantly retreats into the building. The Chaos Heretics obviously want to be in melee combat, so jumping into the building helps out quite a bit. And we can see it looks like the Tactical Marines opted to get out of here for the time being. There was a little bit of, I thought I heard some worship there. Chaos Space Marines, Plague Champion in the middle. And for the most part, all of the early pieces are on the board. And this is the part of the game that's most interesting to me because it takes zero skill whatsoever to be able to mimic this build order and perhaps even mimic the first few captures. Yeah, just build these units and then go out and capture what you saw these players capture. But the game is so much more nuanced than that in terms of actual map control. Little decisions here, where you send your army, how you split them up exactly. Notice right now, if you're looking at the minimap, there are units everywhere, just constantly being microed everywhere at all times. We've got Chaos Space Marines capping here. We've got the Heretics capping here. These Heretics have just been kind of ducking back and forth, dealing with some scout incursions and things like that. On this side of the map, you can see scouts guarding this victory point over here. And we even had the Plague Champion just kind of holding up in this little guard tower, just applying a little bit of light pressure, just kind of doing a little bit of damage here on the Apothecary. And you can see the Apothecary actually even had to use a heal because of some of the damage he took. But oh no! We have the Tactical Marines being upgraded with a flamethrower. That is going to force a retreat right there. The Plague Champion has got to get out of dodge when the flames come coming through the windows there. Looking up here, we can see these scouts are still moving around, and look at that, great timing indeed. Realizing that the Chaos Heretics had been upgraded to have grenade launchers, they just retreated right out of that building. Again, it's just always important to notice the nice little details here, like perfect unit awareness across the map at all times. Little details like that, very hard to mimic. So very important that if you see your favorite replays out there by your favorite top players, notice these kind of details, not just the units that they build and their build orders. Build orders are like the highest level of, you know, the highest level of way that you can describe it in terms of detail. It doesn't have very much in there. If you want to get more into detail, you talk more about the kinds of attacks that they went for and when they pressured their generators and how they timed their power and all that sort of stuff. So already we can see the Chaos Space Marines on this side of the map being forced out by the combination of the Apothecary and the Tactical Marines. And more towards the north here, we can see that the Scouts continuing to be really annoying. You can see trying to harass these requisition points, but not really getting any luck. Nice little grenade barrage, knocking back these gentlemen, combined with the Doom Blast right there. But I believe we just saw another little heal there, just kind of top everybody off. But on top of that, we do have some Nurgle worship going on in the middle of combat too. Fortunately, that didn't work out too much. I believe the Chaos Heretics were just taking too much damage there, having to retreat away. The Plague Champion even went ahead and got fetid armor, so perhaps we're going to be seeing some sort of his stench cloud there, the unholy stench used to suppress troops and whatnot. But for the time being, it looks like Aki has come out on top of that battle right there. The Chaos Heretics just took a little bit too much damage, and we're having trouble dealing with those heals on the Tactical Marines. 0 casualties right there for Aki. And now, of course, having got that flamethrower, just kind of using it to get rid of the Plague Marine, or the Plague Champion earlier. Now he's going to be able to at least burn down this power node. Interesting to note, by the way, early game we saw double power nodes come out for Caeltos. He didn't initially go for the power generators. I was kind of curious if he was trying to spread out his power nodes at all, but it looks like he was doing that more just to prevent capture on this side, because both players do have dedicated power nodes right now. Dedicated power generating farms is what I meant to say there. So 4th unit finally out on the field right now for Caeltos. He does have this Chaos Havoc squad out there, which is kind of interesting. There's no sign of Assault Marines just yet, but I wouldn't rule that out. In fact, I honestly would have been expecting Assault Marines right now. I'm quite surprised to see that it looks like Aki just went ahead and went straight to Tier 2 instead. So we'll have to see what's going on there. Again, we can see this Nurgle worship being used. Again, the Plague Champion. Oh, and no, that grenade barrage was a little bit mistimed there. Apparently all the troops moved out of the way, and his own heretics took a lot of that barrage there. You can see single casualty over there. Oh well. More towards the center, Plague Champion capping the victory points. But for the most part, Aki has really stayed on top of the ball here with capping victory points. 498 points to 329 means Aki barely has lost anything so far, and has a nice little lead on Caeltos at this point in the game. Taking a look more towards the right, we can see that these Scouts continue to be annoying here. You can see they've just been kind of ducking and dodging all around here. We've seen them in buildings and in guard towers, just trying to harass around. If it's not going to work, he just backs away, but just little details like that. Again, notice just the fluidity of motion here on all sides of the map, just constant micro going on. That's the kind of stuff that it's really hard to do. Once you actually sit down and try to emulate that, you realize, oh yeah, that's actually kind of tricky here. You can see the Chaos Heretics now charging in, using that Doom Blast once again to try and suppress these gentlemen, as the Plague Champion sits back behind some nice cover here and applies damage to them liberally. However, it doesn't matter. The Apothecary and the two of them are just going to be able to combine to be able to force out this Plague Champion right now, and boy, he has got to get out of there quickly. On this side of the map, you can see that the Chaos Space Marines continue to try to chase away these Scouts. And more towards the south, I believe we have some grenade barrages going off on this power generator here. So that's just kind of incidental fire. They happen to be capping that victory point at the time. And now, having got to Tier 2, we do see it looks like Aki is going to go ahead and get his first Assault Marine squad. Meantime, we can see that it looks like Caeltos is a little bit further behind in tech because he did stop to get Chaos Havocs. Obviously, he's kind of more along a normal tech path, but it looks like Aki just kind of went for fast tech here. Getting some nice suppression going on with this sort of retrograde firing path here. You can see he's shooting towards his own base. Not a normal method of attack there, but certainly was effective in suppressing for a little while. But now it looks like the Apothecary and these Tactical Marines with their flamethrowers are just going to continue just pursuing these Chaos Space Marines, taking every opportunity to get into forced melee whenever possible there. Good damage on both sides so far. I don't believe we've seen any squads or anything lost yet. Just seeing some moderate life loss occasionally, that sort of thing. Taking a look around here, we'll see that Tier 2 is just about done for Caeltos, and we do have another squad out there. We have the Devastator the heavy plasma cannon squad is out there right now for I keep on calling him Apothecarius because that's what he's going by, for Aki right now. So already we see a wide variety of units here that could potentially really synergize well together. The heavy bolters here from the Chaos Havocs here are doing a good job at suppressing these tactical marines who are now suffering the wrath of many grenade volleys. And the Apothecary was also trying to heal up there too. I like what was going on there, by the way. Caeltos was making sure to focus down the Apothecary. It's true that the Apothecary can heal himself, but it's a lot easier in most situations to do permanent damage to the Apothecary and force him to retreat than it is to try and fight an uphill battle against squads getting healed. Look at that solid shot coming out of that Devastator Plasma team there. Boy, that plasma shot just took out an entire Chaos Heretic squad. So there goes the first squad loss for the day. Direct hit from a heavy plasma cannon, and nice looking merciless strike there coming out of the assault squad as well, knocking them back. And you could even see the Doom Blast went off after, meaning one of those poor gentlemen got thrown all the way in his back and then exploded upon landing there. A little bit unfortunate. And it looks like the assault marines just getting out of there, but they're nicely upgraded. They have a Sarge, so that's pretty good. And we see Bloodletters on the field right now. So Bloodletters, very interesting. This could be a really good counter to, say, things like the Devastators. It also gives him a nice little heavy melee squad to kind of do something, or not heavy melee, you know what I mean, a good solid melee squad to deal with an assault squad out there. But definitely the teleportation ability on the Bloodletters could be very useful in dealing with this squad there. I always wonder when that's going to hit, when you see it pass through a couple of units there. Anyhow, that was pretty good. Again, nice use of the Nurgle Worship there just to heal his units a little bit. The Assault Marines right now charging in, getting another merciless strike off there, knocking back the Plague Champion and some of his entourage in the process. And now we even see a Librarian on the field right now. So a lot of interesting units out there. And oh, we just saw a Scout Squad go down. Where did that Scout Squad go down? I was just trying to click on it and I missed it. Unfortunately, I totally missed that Scout Squad. Oh well. But so now the score is a little bit even right now in terms of squad loss. You can just kind of hear all these units getting ready. And check out how fast these guys are moving right now. Boom! We've got the Assault Marines coming in here with that Veil of Time ability on them. Getting ready, just getting some ferocious melee right now with all of the Chaos Space Marines. The Chaos Space Marines have been upgraded to have the Mark of Khorne right now. We do see a blast coming out of that Librarian right now, doing some damage there. We got the heavy plasma cannon shots, knocking back some friendly fire there. And the Tactical Marines coming in, cleaning everything up here with the power of fire. And unfortunately, during all of that, this Chaos Havoc squad wasn't really able to get anything done. And it looked like Caeltos just lost the first medium-sized combat of the battle right there. And ooh, where do we have these guys coming from here? Boom! Check it out. We have the nice little flank on the Devastators right now from the Bloodletters. This is exactly why he got these Bloodletters right now. You can see getting a single casualty, forcing those guys to retreat. Pretty useful to keep them being sneaky little ninjas out there. Taking a look around the left-hand side, Havoc's continuing trying to find a purpose in life.